Welcome back, everybody, to the daily show. I'll be breaking down the stock market. So, before we get started, please hit that like button, and that is greatly appreciated. And if you guys are new here, definitely consider subscribing. And now, let's get right into the market. All right, so welcome back once again, guys. And you can see the market was pretty much rotating again. And if you look at my screen, Dow was up on the day, 0.46%, Nasdaq going down 0.64%, S&P flat, and Russell pretty much flat on the day, advancing 48 and declining almost 48 as well. So 50-50 here. And when you look at 11 sectors, well, you can see here on top, leading the way, real estate, consumer defensive, financial, communication services, healthcare. So a lot of the sectors, they were actually in the green on Friday, except technology took it right on the chin, down 1.46%. Stock market map, what do we have here? If you look at my screen, I mean, lots of names actually green. Apple was up, whopping 3.5%. Microsoft again flat. Oracle went down again. And when you look at some of these software names like IBM, CRM, now a lot of these names, catching a breather here. Nvidia was slightly down, but look at semis here. MU 7%. I think it was up last week at some point about 12-13%, so gave back a lot of those gains. Intel down even with earnings. Marvel, AMD, Broadcom down 2.69%. Meta down also nearly 2%. Google going up slightly, but a lot of green here in this market, even though the market felt like it was going down rapidly. We have lots of things coming next week, guys, and I'm going to share some of the things that are really key factor going into next week. You can see durable goods come Monday, but then what do we have here, guys? I mean, we have core PC, GDP growth, and then Wednesday, what do we got on Wednesday here? FOMC, right? So we have to see, we have to hear what Kevin Warsh got to say about the interest rate. I think they're gonna be just doing nothing unchanged, but we'll see what happens into the meeting and into the press conference, right? And then we have all these data. We also have more data coming out Friday, including Michigan consumer sentiment. Now, earnings, lots of earnings. If you want to take a screenshot, go ahead and do that. But you can see lots of earnings. The big ones, Microsoft, Meta. We got ARM, QCOM right after closing on Wednesday. Then we got Apple and Amazon. So some of the biggest names on earth are reporting earnings this week. Fear and greed index, 39. We're back on fear. Global sentiment, you can see 29.6% are bullish, 28.1 are neutral, and the bearishness just got up even more, 42.3. All right, so on triple Q, it's down 1.12%. So looks pretty bad. You can see the diamond pattern or the wedge, whatever you want to call it. It's breaking down as of right now. And we actually closed below a critical level, which was holding before 687. You can see here, we tagged it here, we went back up. And even right here, we found support. That was on Thursday's session, went back up and closed at 692 almost. But look at what happened on Friday. We broke below that. Now we did fill this gap right here, right about, I think it was at 682. And now we do have another small gap here at 676.73. That does not guarantee that market has to go down. Usually when things are this oversold, hitting lower Bollinger Band, there could be a bounce. And people that are shorting into the hole, this is not a spot where I would go short just because it's actually breaking down. We have seen over the years many times where people think, oh, diamond pattern or the wedge, oh my God, this is a breakdown here. This is it. Market is gonna go and burn and go down to zero, and then next thing you know, everything comes right back, right? So it's always better to see the long side of the market, find opportunities within this market, than just go short everything, and then you're in a big hole when the rally comes. And don't forget, we have that escalation with Iran And right now, we're just going back and forth as things started, a couple of months ago. Then we had that, fragile ceasefire, and now we're back with the escalation. So, Trump, what's going to happen at some point. You're going to hear some deal is coming out, and then what's going to happen to energy, oil, right? They're going to come down very quickly, just like it did before, and market will be going right back up when that happens. Another one, dollar putting a lot of pressure. Not that dollar went up significantly, but staying up is not good for S&P 500. So 687, it is, it's what I'm looking at come Monday morning. If we can get over that, we might see a rally to fill the gap. 700, 703.62 from just 2 days ago. That's possible here. Now, if this thing comes down, watch for this 2 day consolidation here, 676, 677, fill the gap, maybe hold right here as a support, and then we get to see some sort of a bounce. But of course, on a like bigger picture, if the market wants to pull back, we're already down about 9% here on Qs. So if the market wants to pull back another 1%, that would be 10% coming down here. And if it wants to go more, maybe retest these area right here, which I don't think it's gonna happen right now, but nothing is guaranteed. Things can quickly happen. That would be a retest of that previous monthly, all-time high and the breakout point right here, right about 636, 635. We'll see about that, but I don't think that's going to be happening this week or anytime soon, even if that's going to take place here on Qs. On SPY ETF, it's slightly up on the day, but you can see the rejection came off of this resistance level right here, 744, came down and now sitting at 738, 739. And these Bollinger Bands are just squeezing, right? So it's not like where Q's taking out already the lows. Here is the recent low here, and we're nowhere near like 716 here on SPY. So if this thing comes down, this thing has more room. But with a lot of the sectors like financial and all that, those are up. I don't think there is a good possibility where you're gonna see a massive dump up here on SPY. Expected move for next week, I think it's 14 plus dollar plus or minus from where we closed right here, 739-ish. So it could go up, another 14 bucks or come down another 14 bucks. That is what the option market is pricing in for next week here on SPY. So keep an eye on this. 744 breaks, we could be filling the gap 746.37, maybe into 750. And if this thing breaks out, we can go even higher. Now, in a breakdown, you don't want to see SPY coming down and closing below that 732.50 right here. If that happens, there will be a significant break. Possibly will come down and retest 725, and from there it can go much, much lower. All right, so just a quick reminder for you guys, if you are really serious about trading and you want to do this full time and get all sorts of trade ideas, definitely head over to Patreon, and that link will be down below in the description for you guys. And if you go for that annual membership, you do save some money. You get about 20% off on that. So check it out. On Dow Jones, it's up nearly 0.5%. But if you look at my screen, I mean, this thing here, if you look at my screen, I mean, look at what happened here. And I mean, this is not some rocket science. You can see clearly it just on a mini downtrend, but overall, when you look at this, guys, I mean, this is nothing but just a bull flag consolidation here on Dow. So if things break out, it gets over, let's say 523, 524, I would say that is going to be a breakout to the upside, and we have a gap here at 521. To the downside, that 517 so far held on Friday. If it gives up, look out for the lower band and the 50-day moving average right here, 514. Underneath that, this thing would likely to come down even more, possibly down into this area, 509, 503, and maybe even into 500s. On IWM, it's down 0.32%. So same thing goes right here. We had this, pullback here, up, pullback here, up, low pullback here, then up, and now we're just, contracting, coming down a little bit, but nothing significant. Even with a chance of rate hike, this year, this thing is not really, coming down significantly. We're down about what $10 from the top, which is, just one day can just go up $10, right? So it's holding on to that 50-day moving average right here, 291. If that fails come Monday morning next week sometime, it would come down to 287.49, and from there, watch for lower prices, maybe down into like 280, 281. That's totally possible. To the upside, now it needs to break 290, 288, or let's just, make things even 293, let's say, and then 295.86. Over that, you're going to see more upside here on IWM. VIX was pretty flat and it's still over 18, so you gotta be cautious here when this thing is still holding elevated over 18 bucks. But I would not be too concerned about VIX because yes, it's over 18, but it's not like it's trading at 23, 25 somewhere there where I would think like, oh, maybe another gap up goes to 30, 40 and market just gonna crash, for the time being. But just over 18. So, I mean, if this thing crashes back down under 18, look at what happened, a few times before. Up, down, up, down, up, down. So we're just getting a move to the upside. If this thing comes back under 18, we'll definitely see a spark in the market once again. So I would be careful if this thing crosses like, let's say 20 plus. Right here, you can see a bunch of rejection around 2021. If that happens, yes, there could be more upside. Maybe it goes up to like 23, 25. That's totally possible, but not too concerned about this right now. Also, when you look at the fear and greed index, we're back on fear. So I don't know if this thing can go up. It's mostly news driven. So I would say you want to focus more into Trump tweets and news out there than this thing right here at 18, because unless it breaks over like 20 plus, uh, you know I'm not too concerned about the market. So the dollar index, we talked about it before. We had this flag pattern in the last video I made. We already got that breakout the next day I made the video, and it just on a breakout. So over 100, 101, it's definitely looking, pretty bullish. But how far this thing can go? Well, we haven't taken out this high here, guys. So if this thing takes out 101.8, then expect more upside. Otherwise, maybe this turns into some sort of a double top. This thing comes back, takes out this low, and that is going to be, at least something to look out for when S&P 500 can bounce back if this thing pulls back right here within this bull flag pattern again. But if this thing breaks out over this, let's say, 101.8, 102, then there will be more upside. In that case, we're going to see a deeper pullback in S&P 500. Also, just want to quickly look at gold. It just getting absolutely crushed. We played gold last week and it was really awesome. Not too long ago, we get these calls here on GDX. It was, I think, $75 calls. And look at the move here, guys. I mean, huge move. Sold, took some profit, came back in. And I'm looking to even add back into it because, overall, this thing is down quite a bit. So if this thing runs, let's say we get over like 80, GDX can definitely run and we could see prices going even higher. One more thing I want to look at. What's happening in the market? Well, the oil is rising. You can see USO right here at 140 plus just about 2 days ago. So this thing is back to where it was, right? Almost just what shy from like $10 shy from all-time high, right? So it's not much where I would say like, okay, this thing is gonna go up even more. And when oil going up, dollar going up, yields going up, it's overall not good for the market. And when they see, especially, Trump, like these things are going up, there is political pressure from, parties and all that. Like, okay, we need to manipulate the market. And that's when you're going to see this thing. I mean, look at how many gap up here, guys. I mean, this is no buy here. I mean, this is definitely going to take a back seat at some point. We're going to fill all these gaps. We're going to fill all these gaps at some point because this is oil. And typically, yes, oil can rise, oil can stay over for some time, but you will see these gaps getting filled, just like you saw on this rally, on this rally, on this big rally, and then back down to almost 100. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Thank you so much for watching.